Hey there, Stampers. I hope you are all having a fabulous weekend. My name is Sherry Roth. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Canada. And I am here. Normally, I don't do Sunday Facebook Lives, but it's been crazy in my life right now. And normally, when I get my paper pumpkin kits, I do a scrapbook layout with them. And I didn't want to wait until next week because I've got daily Facebook Lives planned. So I thought I would do a bonus Sunday afternoon Facebook Live where we can scrapbook together. All right, so if you have this month's kit and you want to craft along, let me share what I've got here. So I have got the Bouquet of Hope. So this is the February 2021 paper pumpkin kit, and I'll share a little bit more about paper pumpkin in a minute, but I thought I'd go through the supplies that I pulled out in case anybody wants to scrapbook along with me first, and then I'll talk about what paper pumpkin is for anybody who's unfamiliar. All right, and then I've pulled out, okay, so the first thing that I did was I looked at the coordinating colors, and I'll show you where you can find that in a minute, and I pulled out scraps of all of the colors. So these are all of the colors that coordinate with the kit, and there are a couple colors here that I just would not have included in the kit. So I've decided that I am going to use these colors for my layout. Okay, so I'm going to take out the Just Jade and the Rococo Rose and not include those colors. Well, I shouldn't say that because there might be little splashes of those colors in there. Good afternoon, Joy. Good afternoon, Sheila. Good afternoon, Sue. So these are the four predominant colors that I'm going to use. So then the next thing that I did is, and this is what I do every month when I go to scrapbook with my paper pumpkin kit, is I look at the DSP that I have that will coordinate with the kit. And there is a celebration product. I think it's called Field and Flower and Field Designer Series paper. This is free with a $60 purchase, but only until the end of February. And there is this fabulous bumblebee paper in here, in this kit, that would work great because bumblebee is one of the colors that coordinates. But there's also a couple others that I think you could use. I think you could get away with using this one, either the front or the back, because the back is black and Just Jade, and the front is Just Jade and it's got some bumblebee and then white, and then there is a little bit of pink. I think it's Flirty Flamingo, but if you put it next to Rococo Rose, I think you could get away with it. Okay, so that's another pattern that you can use. And then have a look in your stash and see what other pattern papers that you have in any of the colors that coordinate. So this is the largest piece of the yellow that I had left. So I pulled it out. I'm going to see how I can incorporate it. All right, and then I also pulled out a white 12 by 12 because those of you who follow me know that usually my scrapbook layouts end up on a piece of white 12 by 12. And then I also pulled out this one. This is another great option. This is called the True Love DSP. It's from the January to June mini catalog. And this is a black and white pattern paper. So I pulled this out in case I want to incorporate any other patterns. I love this pattern, this black and white diagonal stripe. I seriously could use a whole package of this pattern alone. So I might use some of that. I do have a full sheet of this as well. This could end up, I may end up trimming my white down and using it as a border like this. I'm not sure. So I pulled it out just in case I wanted to use it. So I'm going to set that aside for now. And then the other things that I pulled out is I pulled out coordinating inks. So I pulled out Bumblebee, Mary Merlot, Mossy Meadow, and Memento. And I have an idea of what my title is going to be, but I need to add to it. So I pulled out the Make a Difference stamp set. Okay, so those are the supplies that I pulled out if you want to kind of craft along with me this afternoon. But now let's go back and let me share a little bit about what paper pumpkin is for those of you who may not be familiar. Paper pumpkin is a monthly crafting subscription kit. And so every month you get this little box delivered to you, and everything that you need to craft whatever that month's project is in this box. you may need to add a pair of scissors to cut some ribbon. You might need to add some adhesive, but oftentimes everything that you need is in this box. Okay, so this month, I haven't even had a chance to make up one of the samples. Usually that's the first thing I do, is make up one of each of the samples. So this month you get the supplies to make 9 cards. So 3 of each of these. And they are more sympathy, they're sympathy cards, which is really great. I mean, you always hope that you don't need sympathy cards, but unfortunately there are times when you do need them. So it's nice to have a nice supply on hand. All right, so you get all the supplies, and then in here it gives you some photo instructions on how to put them together. And on the back it tells you what's included in the kit, the coordinating colors, and it gives you some ideas on what more you can do. And then it also gives you, so these are the 3 cards, and then it gives you some alternate projects as well. So in your kit, first of all, let me give you an idea of what next month's kit is going to be. So this is this month's kit. Oh, look at that. It says that it coordinates with the celebration. I never noticed that, actually. So this is a great paper pack to coordinate with this month's kit. Next month, there is a free gift in the kit, and we're getting these 4 stencils and a sponge. I cannot wait. This is going to be a great kit. Super, super excited about that. So if you are not yet a subscriber, at the end of this video, I'll put a link, if you're in Canada, for you where you can subscribe. You can also purchase prepaid subscriptions in 1, 3, 6, and 12 month lots. And by doing that, in the 3 to 12 month lots, you can actually qualify for celebration product, and at the 12-month mark, you actually qualify for Stampin' Rewards as well. Okay, so if you have any questions about that, just let me know. Okay, so every month you get an exclusive stamp set. So it's a stamp set that, this is the only way that you can get it, is if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber. So this is this month's stamp set. It's got this really pretty bouquet. It's got some little florals, some leaves, and then it says, "Sorry for your loss, sharing in your sorrow, thinking of you, and wishing I could be there to hold your hand." That's such a great greeting. "And I'll always be here for you." So those are the greetings in that stamp set. So these 2 things you can use over and over and over and over again, even after you've finished making the supplies in the kit. And then you get these 3 sheets of stickers, so the thinking of you, but it also has it in French and in German as well. And then there's these beautiful gold doilies. So I'm going to take out one of these. I'm going to take out all 3 of those. For this month, we get some sequins, some black sequins, and some Mossy Meadow trim. I'm going to pull that out. Get a sheet of dimensionals. You get the envelopes. So there are some bumblebee lined ones. There are some Mossy Meadow lined ones and some Rococo Rose lined ones. Good afternoon, Karen and Amy. All right, and then we've got some vellum, printed vellum here. I'm going to take out 2 of these that I'm going to use. And then we've got these die cut pieces. So I'm going to take out, I'll take out 1 for now. I might end up using another. And then we've got our card bases. So we've got a simple Rococo Rose card base. We've got a Mary Merlot card base with a pattern on the front, and then solid Mary Merlot in the back. So I'm going to pull out one of those, because that's one of the colors that I'm going to be using. And then there's a Just Jade card base. So remember, I am not using Just Jade and Rococo Rose, except there might be little splashes of those colors in this piece that I use. And then the last thing, 2 more things. We've got some little mini glue dots, and we've got some label shapes. So I'm going to take out the label shapes as well. Okay, so all the rest of this stuff go back in the box, and we can set it aside so we can get started. Okay, I'm going to put my ink back in there because I have a full ink pad. All right, okay, now where to start here? So I've got my 12 by 12 base. I've got this strip of yellow, which might be a little bit wide for what I'm thinking. And then I could do, let's see, I could do a little strip of this going across, which I think could be pretty. The back of this would also work. Okay, I think I'm going to trim this a little bit. Well, here, let's see what I'm going to, let's just get started here. Okay, so I was thinking these would make great photo mats. This, I have a ruler here, let me just, so this is 2 5/8 by 3 3/4. So you could probably put a 3x4 photo on there and it would be a nice mat. But what I thought was I want to do this for a 4x6 photo. I have a photo of my grandparents. I think it was at our wedding. I have it in my head and I couldn't find it. I think it's been packed away. But I'll do the layout anyways with that photo in mind. I was thinking of cutting one of these down and butting them up against each other. And then this little window here ends up being 6 by just under 4. So I could put a black 4x6 photo mat on there and it would be perfect. So that's kind of the idea of what I have in mind. And then I thought these would make for a great little border going all the way across like this. And that would pull in some of that gold. So that's where I'm going to start. But this, I think I'm going to trim this down so it's a little bit narrower. So right now this measures 2, 3, just over 4. It's about 4 1/4 inches. So I'm going to trim it down to, hello Shirley and Janie and Kim. Okay, let's see here. So if I did maybe, I don't want to trim it down too narrow. I'm going to start with 3 3/4. Okay, so then this will go across like this. And then I kind of lucked out actually, you know what? So many of you know that we're moving and we're selling, because we're downsizing, we're selling a lot of our furniture. And somebody said, oh, can we come pick up your bedroom furniture at 1 o'clock today? And of course I had already scheduled the Facebook Live. So my husband is upstairs moving furniture. Yeah, with the people who are buying it. So I kind of lucked out. I got out of that pretty easily. Okay, so here I'm going to cut, let's do 3/4 inch strips. So I'm going to do 3 of them because 2 won't be quite long enough to go all the way across. Actually, you know what? I could probably get away with just doing 2 because I could do 2 from either end. And then my black mat should cover. Okay, so if we did this like this, I almost feel like there needs to be black in between there just for that little pop of black between the bumblebee. Let me grab a scrap and see what that looks like. Let's see. I love the black, the pops of black in this paper pack. So if I did like just a 1/16 of an inch, see how that just really makes that, it changes the complete look of it. It just looks so much sharper. So I'm definitely going to do that. Do I have a longer? No, I don't have any longer pieces. So let's grab this and I'll cut a 1/2 inch strip. Okay. And then we'll attach this to the back. Are we having connection issues? I'm just wondering because it keeps telling me that people are watching, but then it says the same person are watching and it keeps repeating itself. So I'm wondering if it's my connection or what's going on. Am I cutting out for you guys? Okay, well, the first thing I need to do is I need to trim this because this is not going to be long enough. This is only 11 inches. No, you're fine, Sheila? Okay. Okay, good. All right. Thank you for confirming. So I am just going to have just a smidge of this black showing. And then over here, just a smidge. And that center bit will be covered over, so I'm not worried about that little hole, that little gap there. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and add a little bit of adhesive, and I'll add that Mary Merlot pattern. And I want a little bit of the Mary Merlot, a little bit more of the Mary Merlot showing. So I'll do about, it's probably just a little bit more than 1/8 of an inch. And then over here, just like that. Okay, and then we'll attach this. Move these guys out of the way. Make sure my paper is straight so I can use my grid mat. Okay, so, and I'm going to do it a little bit lower, I think. Where's my ruler? Let's bring in my T-square just to make sure it's straight. Looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm not going to push it down too hard because what I do want to do is I want to take this and I want to add just a smidge of a border at the bottom. Now, I think my long bladed scissors are upstairs, so I guess we'll use these. So I'm going to trim it in half because that way I can use 2, or actually just 1.5, and I should be able to get it all the way across. So I just want a smidge showing, just like that. Well, smidge, I guess that's a bit more than a smidge. So I'm just going to try it out here and see what it looks like. So some of you are probably thinking, oh, Sherry, you're wasting so many of those. But you know what? I usually don't use my paper pumpkin kits for cards. I hardly ever make, except for maybe one of each, I hardly ever use them for cards. I use them for scrapbooking. So I'm just happy to be able to put them to use. Okay. So those will need adhesive, but I don't want to fully commit to that just yet. Okay, this piece, I am going to trim off right, let's see, I'll show you guys. Okay, so I'm going to trim off right where this border ends so that I can butt it right up against the other one. This will make a great little, if I want to put a little something up at the top, that would be perfect for that. Okay, so if I do this and put this like this, so yeah, that does look kind of funny, but remember I'm going to put a mat in there. So I'm going to bring in my black cardstock and I am going to cut 4 by 6. Oh, I should show you something else that I happen to figure out as well. Here's another idea for you guys. If you want to scrapbook with this lots, this scalloped, what is this from? Stitched So Sweetly, I think it's called. This, I think it's the largest rectangle, scalloped rectangle. It fits perfectly in here. So if you guys want to use one of these on its own, it would be a perfect little way to do that. I happen to have that as a scrap in my kit, so or in my drawer, so I pulled it out. See, look, that's going to look great. That's going to be awesome, and it works perfectly. And really, unless you look closely, you can't see. I mean, if you look closely, you can see that there is a joint there, but that's going to look great. And what I will likely do, my 4x6, yeah, exactly, less to pack, right? What I will likely do is my photo will be cut slightly smaller than 4x6, and I will have a little bit of a white border all the way around. Sorry, Shauna, I don't have an extra one this month. I knew we were moving, so I didn't want to invest in an extra one. So this is the only one I've got. If I've got enough pieces, I'd be happy to provide the pieces for you to recreate the kit. But I'm not sure I'm going to. But we can chat afterward. You let me know, okay? Or I can see if I can find you one. Okay. So I like that. I think that's really good. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to commit to these doilies because I do like them. So what I'm going to do is I want to make sure that these are evenly spaced and that they are equidistant. Is that the word I'm looking for? So that they're the same distance from this yellow bit. I'm just wondering, do I need to put a piece of black underneath here? So that we've got that little touch of black in between. I do think that that would look really sharp. I am going to do that. Because I think it'll make the gold pop a little bit more. See, this is why I don't stick things down fully. Okay, so I need to find a piece of, this is going to have to be 12 by 12 because, I'm trying to think here. My 12 by 12 is textured, but it's such a small little bit. I think it's fine. Okay. This is one of the perks to or the advantages to not sticking things down fully. And I do find our seal adhesive, it's quite forgiving. You can usually peel it back without ruining anything quite easily, at least initially, if you don't wait too long. Okay, so we're just going to slide this underneath. Maybe we should stick the doilies down first. Let's stick the doilies down first and then we'll put the black in. Okay, so let's do, I'm going to do it about that far down or up. I'm going to find the center, slide this under. Okay, so we're at about 4 and we're at about 8. That looks pretty good. Okay, and then we'll just add these, and that way if I need to trim anything off the ends, they will trim off nicely and be relatively even on both sides. Okay. All right, about like that. And then now we can slide this under. See, this is, it's better if you could do this beforehand. Let's see how straight we can get this. Slide it under first. This is going to be a little finicky. It's not too bad. Okay. Just that little bit of black, man, it makes a big difference. Okay, it's probably a little bit wider than the top, but that's okay. All right, there we go. Now let's attach these two pieces. Let's see if this... Okay, I think it needs to be a little bit further over. And then we'll butt this right up against the edge. Make sure it's lined up. There we go. And now we've got our photo mat. Okay. Now what are we going to do? Okay, good. I'm glad you guys are helping each other out. All right, let's go ahead and attach this. I'm going to just add adhesive in the middle in case I want to tuck some things. Let's put adhesive across these two. Okay, I got to figure out where I'm going to put my title. So this photo that I have in mind to put in here is a photo I think I mentioned at the beginning. It's a photo of my grandparents at our wedding. It's a cute little photo of the two of them sitting at a table. And both of them have passed away a number of years ago. So I was going to do as my title, I think of you often. So there's thinking of you on here. So I was just going to cut off the ing, and then that's where this make a difference stamp set is going to come in. So I will stamp the I and then often. So now I need to figure out where I'm going to position this. Happy Sunday to you too, Carol. I'm thinking this seems to be the logical place. Now normally I have a piece of course it's not here. See, so much of my stuff is packed away. Normally in my tray or my cart right beside me, I have a piece of wax paper. And, let's put it on vellum and hope it doesn't stick too, it might stick too much. Because wax paper is perfect for kind of putting things on and then so that you can see through it, right? And decide where you want your title to be or whatever your embellishment, whatever it is, and it doesn't stick to it, so you can just peel it off. So I love doing that. Normally I have a scrap of wax paper right beside me, but it must have got packed away with my stuff. So for those of you who are space challenged, you guys might want to follow along. I'm going to be sharing kind of the process of going from a full basement studio, which I have right now, which is lovely, but just not what we're looking for right now. It's time to downsize. So I will be going to a shared space with my family and basically just have one end of a rec room. So I will have to fit what I had in an entire basement into an area that is probably about a quarter of the size, plus a closet. There is a storage closet that I will have access to. There's 2 storage closets in the basement of our new house, and one of them is smaller than the other, so that's the one that I'm going to use as my craft storage closet. So if you guys want to, I will be sharing the whole process of downsizing, tips and tricks on organizing, and all that stuff all along the way. Plus, for 6 weeks, because we will be homeless for 6 weeks, I will be crafting, still running my business, crafting out of the supplies that I have in my Raskog cart. So I'll be sharing what's in there. I'll be sharing why I've chosen those products. So I'll be sharing all of this whole process with you guys. So if your space is minimal and you're looking for organizing tips, then you'll definitely want to follow along. Okay, so I'm just cutting this ing off of here. All right. Oh, this is very sticky. It would really be helpful if I had a piece of wax paper. Okay. So let's see. It's sticking to my fingers. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, we might not have a straight title. Actually, that doesn't look bad. Okay. All right. So I still need to add the I and often. I thought of maybe cutting this I because I will never use the German version. The Je pense à toi I might use, but this I could maybe add that in. And you know what? Well, there is this I too, in which I cut. That was not very smart. Had I been thinking about that, there was the I and the ing, which could have worked here. But let's give this one a shot. You know, Kim, it is going to be a little bit of a challenge, but to be honest, I'm going to try to pre-plan as much as I can, but there's some things that I just won't be able to pre-plan, right? Like I'll have to do my Facebook Lives. Those are obviously going to have to be live. So there's things that I just won't be able to do. Okay, I'm trying to figure out where the best place is to cut this. Let's try here. So, and I do always know, like I'm very good at knowing what I'm going to be using what week. So I know already what exactly I'm going to be promoting every week for the month of March. So I just need to plan April and May as well. Okay, let's see. We need to soften the corners here. Let's round this a little bit. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is that eye weird? Can you guys see that? Do I use that eye or do I stamp an eye? Looks kind of funny. I don't know. I'm undecided about that. Let's just stick this back on here for now. We'll think about that. Okay, now let's start the embellishing. Okay, so where are those flowers? These bits here. I probably won't use this because I've already got a lot of yellow, and if I want to repeat some yellow up here, I will likely use the same pattern rather than bring in a second pattern. Yeah, Carol doesn't like the eye. Oh, Kristen likes the eye. Okay, let's see. Let's pop these out and figure out where I want to put them. That's one thing I love about Paper Pumpkin. These die cut pieces, they just make memory keeping so quick and easy. Okay, so I'll set that aside. And it would be nice to include a little floral over here. Maybe this way so it fits better. And then maybe another one up here. That could work. Okay, let's do this little cluster up here. I do want to repeat this up here since I've got a little piece left. I don't want to waste it. So we're going to add this. I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive at the top and add that on here. And then this I'll make a little bit longer, maybe a little bit narrower. Trim it here. Yeah, I do like that idea too, Kristen, that it's the same font and it kind of fits in with it. And it might look better now that I've got this floral image here. I don't know. I might still try it, but I might try stamping with the other one and then deciding. Okay, so I'll put that there. So I will trim that off. Okay, so I've got my triangle, which really makes me happy. I like that kind of thing. But there is also some Mossy Meadow trim here. It might be nice to put a nice big bow, because I always like to try to incorporate everything. So if I did a nice big bow here and then popped it in behind, that will give me some kind of loopiness. Loopiness, is that a word? In behind there. So let's grab a mini glue dot. I've got a couple left from a past kit, so let's use that, stick that on here. Boy, it's very loopy. Okay. And then we'll use dimensionals for this guy. Let's use some big dimensionals. Let me pull these in. Yeah, a window sheet would work too. Okay. I'm gonna figure out how I had my flower. That looks upside down. There we go. They have a mind of their own here. Okay, so I could, do I want to just tuck them underneath there? There, that's better. There we go. Okay. Now, do I want to repeat this over here? Let's give it a try. I want some big loops in my bows so that you can see them. So this one I can have going over the edge because it's going to be at the top of my page protector, but this one I don't want over the edge. Let's see. Let's try going this way. Yeah, it's all right. Okay. So what's everybody up to? Did you guys do anything this weekend? Good for you, Kristen. You deserve it. Thanks, Carol. You know what? I don't use a ton of yellow, but I do love Bumblebee. I don't know. I think it's one of my favorite yellows. Okay, I don't want to cover up too much of that title. Now, how did I have this? I had this going. I have it going this way. Be careful about going off the edge there. There, that's better. Okay, let's tuck these ends under. Okay, that's cute. I like that. All right, and I don't think I'm going to do a loopy thing behind here. Now this, try to think of the positioning. Okay, I like it there. And the reason why I like it down further is because I don't want to see this. See how you can see the yellow, you can see the edge, and then you can see the vellum? I either want it up like this, but then it's even further into the photo. So I'm going to bring it down so it covers that ledge. And what I'm going to do is I'm only going to put, well, I'm going to put dimensionals all over actually. But I'm not going to peel off the backing on the dimensionals on this side. So just putting that my finger on there to remind me not to peel off the backing on that one. And then this will go on here like this. And then that way my photo can still tuck underneath there. And then once I have my photo on there, I can just peel off the backing on that dimensional. Okay, there we go. I still have this little flower, which we could add. It's kind of a lot of yellow there. We can add it up here. Let's see. Oh, maybe there. I like it there. Okay. We're going to just put it flat, so I'm not going to use dimensionals for this one. Okay, there we go. I think that it's coming along. All right, so let's see. I still have these. I could, let's try one of these. Popped into here, or maybe here. Or here. Let's see. Not sure on that shape. Let's try one of these. That's not going to be wide enough. Okay. Oh, I could do that. That looks all right. That could be my when and where, or who and when. And I still have some black. I can do a smattering of sequence in black, but first I want to work on the rest of my title. So now in this set, this is my go-to alphabet set. Well, it's really the only alphabet set apart from the dies that we carry that are still current. So there is a scripty one. I'm not a fan of these uppercase ones. And this, I think it would get lost in there. Oh my gosh. This decisions. Okay, what if I did, you can see that I use this often. All the letters are like, all these little letters don't stick anymore. I really need to clean them. I think I've lost two. I've lost my F and my T. So if I ever lose my I, I'm in big trouble because that's how I make my F's and my T's. So there's O, F, T, E, N. I think I can fit often right in there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, let's not lose these, Sherry. Let's grab a little block. And we'll do it in black. Where's my cleaner? Oh, here it is. Okay. Now let's just hope that I don't mess this up because I'm stamping right on the background. That's the I. Here's the O. Okay, everybody cross their fingers. Okay, oops. And then my I. And I need my black Sharpie pen. Where is my black Sharpie pen? Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to stamp an I, which is going to be my F. And then I take my pen and I'm going to stamp my I again and make a T. Oh, it's a little crooked. That's okay. And just go across, and then we'll do E. And N. Is that spelt right? O-F-T-E-N, often? It doesn't look right. And I don't know if it's because my T's crooked. Okay, now just to figure out what I'm going to do with the I. Let's do a little I right there. Yeah, that's the way it's going to be. We're just going to do it. Okay, thank you. That'd be pretty terrible if I spelt it wrong right on my layout. A scrap piece of paper. Okay, I'm going to stamp it right in here. There we go. Okay. So, title is done. Let's clean this and put it back in so I don't lose it. And then close this up. I really need to take care of this set, otherwise I'm going to lose more letters. So to clean those, if anybody's wondering, all you have to do is just run them under some warm water, and it just gets all the oils or the dust that is on the backs of your stamps. That washes right off, and then they stick just fine. You just want to make sure your plug is in when you do that. Okay. So let's see if we need a smattering of black sequins in here. I'm not going to push them down, again, just so that I don't have to commit. And I think I'm going to put these right on one of these dots. A couple there, and maybe one here. So I've got my 3. And then one there, one there, another one here, and then let's see, over here. Yeah, you're right, Joy. I probably didn't need the I. It could have been to just think of you often. Okay. All right. I think I'm done. I like it. So this will be a little 4x6 photo, likely with a little bit of a white mat in there just to make the photo pop if it's a little dark. Let's stick this down. And then if I wanted to add any extra journaling, I'd probably just do it right on the yellow background. Does it look straight? I think so. I'd probably just do it right on the background. So depending on how long it is, if it was a little bit more journaling, I'd probably do it all down here. If it's just a little bit, I'd probably do it just right here. So, yep, that's it. I love how it turned out. I love these kind of scripty titles like this. And then combining it with a couple different fonts. And then these little embellishments, these little ephemera or die cuts or whatever you want to call them, they just make it so quick and easy. So Paper Pumpkin is great for scrapbooking. Oh, I have to cut this off up here. Okay, and then we're done. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Now tomorrow starts my daily Facebook Lives. So all week long at 9:30 a.m. I will be going live with a project. I don't want to cut my ribbon here. Creating a project with the In Bloom bundle from the January to June mini catalog and the Paper Blooms celebration product. And tomorrow, because it's Memory Keeping Monday, I'm not sure if you guys know, but every Monday on my blog I feature a memory keeping project. So it's Memory Keeping Monday tomorrow. So the first project will be a memory keeping project, but it's not going to be a scrapbook layout. It's going to be something that's a little bit more home decor-ish. So you'll definitely want to join me. And if you place a $60 order using this month's host code, so the February host code, then you'll get all the kits to create the projects that I make over the course of the week. All right? So have a fabulous rest of the day. Thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you tomorrow morning. Take care, guys.